welcome to Tennessee's at-home learning series for literacy. Today's lesson is for all our second graders out there, though everyone is welcome to tune in. This lesson is the third in this week's series. My name is Mrs. Ledford, and I'm a second grade teacher at Prescott South Elementary School in Cookeville, Tennessee. I'm so excited to be your teacher for this lesson. Welcome to my virtual classroom. If you didn't see our previous lessons, you can find them on our website at www.tn.gov/education. You can still tune in to today's lesson if you haven't seen any of our others, but it might be more fun if you go back and watch our other lessons, since today we'll be talking about things we learned previously. Today, we will be learning about what the Continental Congress hoped to accomplish with the Declaration of Independence. Before we get started, to participate fully in today's lesson, you will need 2 pieces of paper, a pencil, and a surface to write on. If you have your assignment from our previous lesson, you can go ahead and get that out. And you can access the student packet for this lesson, ELA, Grade 2, Lesson 18, which can be found on our website at www.tn.gov/education. Okay, let's begin. Today, our goal is to determine what the Continental Congress hoped to accomplish by writing the Declaration of Independence. We will begin reviewing our work from yesterday, and then there will be time for you to practice on your own with my support. Finally, I will assign you independent work that you can complete after the video ends. Yesterday, we read the section in our story called The Continental Congress. We learned about who this group was. Touch your head if you remember who the Continental Congress was. Great job. This was a group of delegates from the colonies that acted like a government. Touch your shoulders if you remember what a delegate is. Excellent. A delegate is a person who represents a group of people. They were the leaders of their colonies. For years, this group of individuals, the Continental Congress, had been displeased with Britain. Displeased. I'm going to write that word on my board, and I want you to help me study it. Displeased. Touch your toes if you remember what this word means. Woohoo! This word has a prefix. Do you remember what the prefix is? Yes, dis is the prefix. I will put a box around my prefix. Very good. Do you remember what dis means? Great. It means not, or the opposite of. So pleased is going to be our base word today. And pleased means happy. So this word means not happy. Okay, boys and girls, let's go ahead and read our answer from yesterday's question. And I want you to see if you found the reason why the colonies were not pleased with Britain. Go ahead and get out your paper from yesterday. And you're going to look at your paper and see how closely it relates to my paper if you wrote some of the same things I did. Okay, the colonies were displeased with Britain for many reasons. First, Britain made them follow rules they didn't agree with. They also taxed goods without the colonies' permission. Finally, the colonies sent a petition to the king, and he ignored it. These were some of the reasons why the colonies were displeased with Britain. Did you include an introductory sentence telling what your paragraph was going to be about? Did you say they were displeased because they had to follow rules they didn't agree with? Did you say the British taxed goods without the colonies' permission? Did you say that the king ignored the petition the colonies sent? Excellent. I hope you had a chance to share your writing with someone in your home. This week, we have also been discussing different word parts. Remember, we even had to create a morphology chart to organize the word parts. So let's review the word types. The first part of a word is a prefix. Where do I usually find a prefix? Excellent. I find the prefix at the beginning of the word. Another word part is known as the suffix. Where do I find the suffix? At the beginning or the end of a word? Yes, I find the suffix at the end of the word. Another word part is the base word. This is the word that can stand alone or by itself as a real word. We didn't add these to our chart, but it is an important part of a word, and it's important to know what they are. The last part is a root word. This is a part of a word that cannot stand alone or by itself, but it has meaning. The example you worked on earlier this week was clar from the word declaration. That means clear, but it cannot stand alone. Let's use some of the meanings from our chart to read some words and determine their meaning. Okay? So let's look at this first word together. Everybody say this word with me. Disagree. Very good, boys and girls. Do you see any prefixes? Excellent. Let's put a box around dis to remind us it's a prefix. Okay, what does dis mean? Yes, it means not or the opposite of. And what is our base word? Go ahead and underline it. Agree. Very good, boys and girls. And agree means to get along or have the same opinion. What does this word mean? Yes, it means to not have the same opinion. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at the next word. Rebuild. Very good. Do you see any prefixes? Nice job. Let's go ahead and put a box around re. Do you remember what re means? Yes, it means again. What is the base word? Go ahead and underline it. Yes, it's build, which means to construct something. So what does this word mean, boys and girls? Yes, very good. It means to construct again. Nice job. Let's look at the next word. Painter. Do you see any prefixes? Well, let's put a box around What does mean? Yes, it's a person who, but is it a prefix? No, it's a suffix. Nice job, boys and girls. What is the base word? Yes, we know what paint means. So what does this word mean? It means a person who paints. Nice job. Boys and girls, let's look at the next word. Declare. Do you see any prefixes? Let's put a box around D. Nice job. Do you remember what D means? Yes, it means separate away or add intensity to a word. The rest of the word that is left is clair. It is not a word by itself. That is the reason we call it a root word. Okay, so clair means to make clear. So what does this word mean, boys and girls? Yes, it means to explain or make clear with intensity. I declare that today should be National Cookie Day. All right, boys and girls, let's look at the next word. Distrust. Do you see any prefixes? Let's put a box around dis. Nice job. So what does dis mean? Yes, it means not or the opposite of. What's our base word? Let's underline it. Trust. Nice job, boys and girls. Trust means to believe someone or something. So what does this word mean? Yes, it means to not believe in someone or something. Okay, boys and girls, let's look at this word, speaker. Do you see any prefixes or suffixes? Nice job, ER. Let's put a box around it. Good job, boys and girls. What does ER mean? Yes, it means a person who. And what is our base word? Let's underline it. Speak. Very good. We know what speak means. It means to talk, to use one's voice to talk. So what does this word mean? Yes, it means one who talks. One who talks. Very good, boys and girls. Let's look at our next word. Redo. Do you see any prefixes? Good job. Re. I'm going to put a box around it. What does re mean? Nice job. It means again. And what is the base word? Let's go ahead and underline it. Do means to perform an action. So what does this word mean? Yes, it means one who performs an action. Nice job. Let's do it one last time. This word is defrost. Do you see any prefixes? Good job, boys and girls. Let's put a box around the prefix D. Do you remember what D means? Yes, it means separation, away from, or intensity. What is the base word? Let's underline it. Frost. Nice job, boys and girls. Frost is a type of ice. You can see it on your cars in the winter. Very good. So, what does this word mean? Yes, it means to separate, frost, or ice. Good job, boys and girls. You did such a nice job today. So, the next thing we're going to do today is we are going to start reading. But before we start reading, I want you to get out one of your pieces of paper, and we are going to create a paper that will help us with our. Before we start reading, I want to add 2 or more parts to our morphology chart. We are going to see a word that has the prefix un in it today. Listen to this sentence. You must untie your shoes before you take your shoes off. So I'm going to write that on the board for you so that you can see it. Do you see a prefix? Very good. The prefix is un. I will put a box around un to remind me that this is a prefix, okay? Un means not or opposite, okay? So what is the base word? Yes, tie. Nice job. And what does tie mean? Very good. So if I'm going to untie, it means the opposite of tie. I'm going to not tie, right? So the next word part that I want to add to our chart today is the suffix ly. I want you to listen to this sentence. The toddler didn't get a nap today. As a result, he acted badly. Let's write that word on our board, and you can look at it and see if you can spot my suffix. The new suffix we are learning today. Very good. What's my suffix, boys and girls? ly. I'm going to put a box around this to remind me it's my suffix. Now, ly means in a manner or in a way that is. So let's add that to our morphology chart today, boys and girls. And what is our base word? Yes, bad. So we are acting in a way that is bad. Okay? Very good, boys and girls. Now, as we read today, I will stop us at a certain point to see if we can determine the meaning of some words when certain prefixes or suffixes are added. Okay? Today, we will continue reading the Declaration of Independence and the first 4th of July. As we read today, I want you to pay attention to the tasks the Continental Congress wanted to accomplish when they wrote the Declaration of Independence. I also want you to determine what the purpose of each section of the Declaration was. We will take notes on a note taker today so you can use it during your independent work practice later. So take out one of your pieces of paper, and we're going to fold it in half hot dog style to make 2 parts. Remember, hot dog style is the long and skinny way. If you match up your corners and then just press all the way down, when you open it up, you should have 2 long and skinny columns. And on one side of your chart paper, we are going to write the word accomplishments. You are going to write it as I write it, and I'll spell it for you. Are you ready? ACOMPLISHMENTS. So that should be on one side of your paper, accomplishments. And the other side of your paper, we're going to write the word purposes. And I'll spell it for you. Ready? PURPOSES. Accomplishments and purposes. So let's go. We are picking right up from yesterday after the King of Britain ignored the petition that was sent over from the Continental Congress. After this, the colonies were sure that the only way forward was to gain their independence from Britain. The Continental Congress selected 5 men to draft a document declaring America's freedom. The men agreed that Thomas Jefferson, who had been a lawyer in Virginia, should be the main writer of the Declaration of Independence. What did the Continental Congress decide because the king ignored their petition? Yes, they wanted to gain independence. We discussed independence earlier this week. Independent means to not need someone or something to be free. So the colonies wanted to be free from Britain. Listen to this sentence. The Continental Congress selected 5 men to draft a document declaring America's freedom. Who did the Continental Congress choose? Yes, they chose 5 men. What did they want those men to do? Yes, they wanted to make them draft a document. Draft means to write the first version of a writing. So the Continental Congress wanted 5 men to create a draft or first writing of the Declaration of Independence. And what did they want that draft to say? Yes, they wanted them to declare America's freedom. We talked about declare earlier today. Declare means to explain or make clear with intensity. Who did they decide should be the writer? Yes, Thomas Jefferson. I see a couple of words with some suffixes. Look at these 2 words. I'm going to write them on my board. All right, boys and girls, I see this word with a suffix. All right. Do you see a prefix? Nope. Do you see a suffix? Yes. Let's circle the ER. Do you remember what ER means if it's at the end of the word? What does the suffix ER means? Yes, it means a person who. So a writer is a person who writes. A lawyer is a person who practices law, right? All right, boys and girls, let's keep reading. Jefferson worked on the Declaration of Independence for weeks. The Continental Congress wanted the Declaration to state exactly why America should break its ties with Britain. They wanted a document that could show to the American people and even to people in other countries. How long did Jefferson work on the Declaration of Independence? Yes, many weeks. And what did the Continental Congress want the document to do? Remember, this was one of the things we were listening for today as we read. Yes, they wanted it to state exactly why America wanted to break its ties with Britain. Break ties. Well, let's first think about the word tie. Tie is a multiple meaning word. Tie can also mean an article of clothing worn around a man's neck, but it can also mean the same score in a game. But sometimes tie can mean a relationship. Which of these 3 things do you think the colonies wanted to break? Yes, they wanted to break their relationship with them. So let's write that underneath the accomplishments side. So get out your notes paper and we're going to write these things to our chart. Okay, so first we're going to put a bullet point underneath accomplishments. And we are going to put state why America should break its ties with Britain. State why America should break its relationship with Britain. So listen to the last sentence. They wanted a document that would show to the American people and even to people in other countries. This is another reason why the Continental Congress wanted the Declaration of Independence. Let's add this to our notes. Put another bullet point under accomplishments. Write these notes in your paper as I write them on the chart. Wanted a document to show. Wanted a document to show Americans and other countries. Wanted a document to show Americans and other countries. Great job, everybody. Let's keep reading. The Congress wanted the Declaration to help Americans join together against Britain. They also wanted other countries to recognize the colony's freedom and treat America like its own country, not like part of Britain. Did you hear any other things the Continental Congress may have wanted for an accomplishment of the Declaration of Independence? For the Declaration of Independence? Yes, I heard some too. Let's write those in our notes. Put another bullet point under accomplishments. Help to join. They wanted help to join Americans against Britain. Help to join Americans against Britain. Good. Now let's add the other information. I want one more bullet point under an accomplishment side. They wanted other countries to treat America like its own country. So let's write that. Wanted other countries to treat America like its own country. All right, boys and girls, excellent job. Let's keep reading. The next section is called Parts of the Declaration of Independence. Another reason we were listening to today was to determine the 4 sections of the Declaration and to know what the purpose of each was. Let's make sure we can find these reasons in this section. Thomas Jefferson felt just as strongly about independence as the rest of the Continental Congress. He toiled day and night to get every word just right. He ended up writing the Declaration in 4 parts. Let's look at this word on my dry erase board. What word do you see on my dry erase board? Good, strongly. Do you see a prefix? Nope. Do you see a suffix? Yes. Let's circle ly as our suffix. Good job, boys and girls. We circled ly as our suffix. Yes, that means in a way that is. So, in what matter did Jefferson feel about the Declaration? Yes, he felt very strongly. Listen to this sentence. He toiled day and night to get every word just right. Toiled means to struggle. So Jefferson struggled with writing the document for many weeks. Why do you think Jefferson spent so much time on this document? Great. The text stated because he wanted to get every word just right. How many parts did the document end up having? Excellent. 4 parts. We want to make sure that we record those on the next side of our note taker. So go ahead and get your paper ready. The first part is called the preamble. He wrote it as an introduction to explain the purpose of the Declaration. Jefferson used the next part to list the rights that all people should have. In this part, Jefferson explained that if the government tried to take these rights away from the people should change the government. What is the first part? Yes, the preamble. What is its purpose? Great, to explain the purpose of the document. Let's add this to our chart. Make a bullet point under the purposes side. Take notes on your paper as I write them on our chart paper. Ready? First part explained the purpose. Second part, one more bullet point. Second part listed the rights all people should have. Let me read that again for you. First part was the purpose. Second part listed all the rights people should have. Okay, boys and girls, let's keep going. Jefferson wrote the third part of the Declaration to show exactly why the colonies were upset with Britain. He listed many of the ways that Britain had treated the colonies unfairly. He also described how the colonies tried to work with the King of Britain to settle the problems. Lastly, in the final section, Jefferson wrote that the colonies should now be treated like any other independent country. Did you hear more parts to our declaration? Yes. Let's write those on our chart. Ready? So another bullet point. Third part said why the colonies were upset with Britain. Third part said why the colonies were upset with Britain. In the third part, what did Jefferson include? Yes, he listed ways that Britain treated them unfairly. Let's look at this word, unfairly. I'm going to highlight it in the text. Do you see it? Good. Un means, do we see any prefixes? Good. I'm going to put a box around un. Un means not or the opposite of. Do you see any suffixes? Good. ly. Nice job. And that means in a way that is. So what is our base word? Fair. Nice job. So fair means equal. So this word means in a way that is not equal. Excellent, boys and girls. So boys and girls, let's add that to our chart. Ways they were treated unfairly. So that should be under the third part. Ways they were treated unfairly. Okay? And it also said that they had tried to work with the king. Let's add that too. So they tried to work with king. And do you remember the final part? Excellent. In the final part, the fourth part, let's add that to our chart. Fourth part said the colonies should be treated like any other country. All right, boys and girls, we read and we talked about many things today. Let's review our notes and get ready for our independent writing assignment. The assignment today has two parts. We need to make sure our answer has both parts. The Continental Congress wanted the Declaration to accomplish 4 main tasks. What were those 4 tasks? Nice job. As Jefferson wrote the Declaration, he wrote it in sections for a purpose. What are the 4 sections and what was each section's purpose? The first part of the question states that the Continental Congress had 4 main tasks they wanted to accomplish. What were they? And which side of our notes paper would we use to help us answer this question? Yes, the side that says accomplishments. Listen as I read our notes back. Make sure you have all this information in your notes so you can use it to write later. If you have a device handy, you could always take a picture of these notes. Okay, boys and girls, so make sure you have all of this information. So, states why America should break its relationship with Britain. Did you get all that in your first bullet point? Excellent. Wanted a document to show Americans and other countries. Did you get all that in your second bullet point? Excellent. Help join Americans against Britain. Did you get all that in your third bullet point? Wonderful. And wanted other countries to treat America like its own country. Good job. The second part of our question today says, as Jefferson wrote the Declaration, he wrote it in sections for a purpose. What are the 4 sections and what was each section's purpose? What part of our notes today will help us answer this part of the question? Excellent. The side that says purposes. Listen as I read our notes back. Make sure you have all this information in your notes so you can use it later to write. The first part told the purpose of the document. Did you get all that in your first bullet point? Excellent. The second part told the rights that all people should have. Did you get all of that in your second bullet point? Good job. The third part showed why the colonies were upset with Britain and ways they were treated unfairly and described ways they tried to work with the king. Did you get all of that in your third bullet point? Good job. And the fourth part said the colonies should be treated like any other country. Did you get all of that in your fourth bullet point? Excellent. Okay, great job today, boys and girls. Now it is going to be your turn to have some independent practice. Using these notes, you are going to work on your independent practice. You can turn your paper over to use that for your other side. Okay, and I will repeat the prompt twice so you have a chance to get it all. You can also pause your television and take a picture of your screen. Ready? Okay, Continental Congress wanted the Declaration to accomplish four main tasks. What were those four tasks? As Jefferson wrote the Declaration, he wrote it in sections for a purpose. What are those four sections, and what was each section's purpose? One more time. Continental Congress wanted the Declaration to accomplish four main tasks. What were those four tasks? As Jefferson wrote the Declaration, he wrote it in sections for a purpose. What are the four sections, and what was each section's purpose? Boys and girls, I enjoyed working on determining the accomplishments and purposes of the Declaration of Independence with you today. Thank you for inviting me into your home. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson in Tennessee's At Home Learning Series. Bye-bye.